Ryan Reynolds says he regrets having a plantation wedding with wife Blake Lively. So the actor spoke to Fast Company about the shame he still feels about holding his 2012 wedding at Boone Hall, a former plantation in North Carolina. He said, quote, "It's something we'll always be deeply and unreservedly sorry for. What we saw at the time was a wedding venue on Pinterest. What we saw after was a place built upon devastating tragedy. A giant bleeping mistake like that can either cause you to shut down or it can cause you to reframe things and move you into action." I can't get enough of this guy because he's just honest. He's just being real. Look, plantation weddings were the rage on Pinterest for a really long time. Were you always uncomfortable with them, Al? Were you always like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Were you like, that tree could have been used for lynching?
You know, the longer I live, though, Tori, the more I understand it. And I was talking to my girl about this yesterday. You know, for people that aren't black, it's very easy and almost to no fault of their own to not have any black people in their life. Like, if you live 25 minutes outside of any city center, go to those cities. Like, they're white places. And if you live in a mostly white area, you have mostly white friends, you're not gonna get pushback on an idea like that. If you brought that up with us downtown, we'd be like, hey, Tori, let's take a walk to the bathroom for a second.
Idea.
But if you don't have anybody like that around you, I could very easily see where everybody's like, this is great. And then 8 years, 10 years later, you're looking like that was a miss.
And that's what you always say, Lindsay, too. Al always says representation in the room matters, because someone would be like, yo, that's
sometimes
a plane
the room is your brunch table.
Right, exactly. Your friends at the table say, that's like, to me, almost like concentration. I mean, it's not as awful, but it's
close,
very bizarre that bones have been buried in there with a lot of pain. What do you think, Linz?
I mean, yes, the plantations are beautiful, but they're also like a reminder, a physical reminder of some of the most horrific human rights violations we've ever seen in our lives. And so if somebody can say, a celebrity especially, with a whole team around them that may not be black, that this is not a good idea and this is a sign of former slavery where slaves weren't even allowed to get married, and so you're reminding us of that with every single photo you post. I mean, come on now. And I appreciate him being reflective and learning from the experience, but just not knowing is actually not an excuse for why you do something so dumb.
Yeah, ignorance is not an excuse. I agree with that.